side-by-side taste test of store-bought Brussels sprouts versus homegrown Brussels sprouts. This might have been a mistake. So I went to the grocery store and they had Brussels sprouts. Like, on plants. Look how big these are. And then I went outside and got some of my Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to do a taste test. I'm going to cook them. And I'm going to see if these big bastards are anywhere near as delicious as my tiny little ones. Because if they are, I need to up my game next year. Otherwise, like, this whole stalk cost like 40 sec, which is like $4. And a packet of seeds for Brussels sprouts is like 20 sec. And there's 50 plants in a packet. So, like, you can't really compare how much food, because we've been eating the leaves and stuff. But, yeah, I'm gonna see. Well, that's a door stopper. Okay, so my 6 Brussels sprouts from the garden, the Brussels sprouts I had to take off to get it to fit in the fridge, and 3 of the top leaves, because I eat the leaves of the Brussels sprouts all the time, and they are freaking delicious. But I don't know that these will be, but we will see. And I'm going to saute them with this carrot and with some yellow onion and butter and raw oil and salt. And this is normally how I like to make Brussels sprouts. Just cut them in half and pan fry them with carrots and an onion. So yeah, we'll see. So that's the done veg. Theirs cut in half. Mine cut in half. Mine are way tight compared to theirs, just the structure. And then this one's super weird, and it's like making a bunch of baby sprouts off of the sprout. This is a mutant sprout from the grocery store sprout. And then these are the leaves just done in a chiffonade, diced carrots and onions. So yeah, we'll get that going. So this is just butter and raw oil, which is canola. And I'm gonna put all of these in here at the same time because these are so enormous. And then I think I'm gonna wait a little bit before putting mine in because they're much smaller and they are garden fresh. So I got home and picked one little one off of all of the plants in the back, so that we could do a taste test, and it would be easy to tell which sprouts were mine and which came from the grocery store. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add the chiffonade to this pan. And like, I probably accidentally added some of my little ones to the pan as well. So yeah, normally I do the onions and carrots and get them about halfway, and then add my Brussels sprouts because they normally don't need that much time. And then just a little salt to help get the hydration up. Yeah, that's that. I'm just gonna let that cook and put dishes away while I'm waiting for that to happen. Because these are so big, I'm gonna add a little bit of water to help steam them and cook them faster. But hopefully these will get close to done, and then we will be able to get a little bit of caramelization on the fronts and browning, which is normally the thing that I like about this process. But these are just so big, I don't trust them to cook and not just be super hard and raw in the middle. My little guys will probably end up, the ones that snuck in here, will end up overdone, but that's okay. I would rather have one of mine overdone and then all of these under, because there's a lot more of them than there are of mine. So there's one of my little guys compared to my baby bear mama bear Brussel sprouts. That'll work. So this is like halfway done. I'm gonna throw in the rest of the little sprouts. They're all really pretty. So that right there is what I'm looking for on all of these guys. So the best way I know to do that is to spin these around, make sure the guys that have nothing on them yet get down, and then walk away and do more dishes so that I don't turn them, because they just need to have direct contact with the pan, and then you get that nice charring and browning and caramelization, which just makes them so sweet and delicious. And I used to do this with sriracha and butter, but I would parboil, I would parboil them, cut them in half, and then just put them face down in the butter and then finish with sriracha. Which is a very nice way to do Brussels sprouts, but this uses more stuff from the garden, which for my money right now is even better. And, well, it's healthier to not just have buckets of butter. For my money, that's done. This one is still a little pale, but caramelized canned goodness. Steaming up my camera. There we go. So, yeah, that should be good. This should be good enough for a taste test. And if you make this with chopsticks, all the fondant ends up on the tip. So even though I did this in a non-stick pan, there's still a bunch of fondant on the bottom. So this is just trying to get all of that goodness incorporated into the meal. Okay, so this is one of mine. Super sweet, super crunchy, super awesome. This is a grocery store. Okay. They're okay. They're a little bitter and kind of fishy. Like, eating that reminds me why people don't like Brussels sprouts. Oh God, and I feel like such a snob, but well, yeah. Mine are super sweet, little nutty. The ones from the grocery store taste slightly off. So I don't know if maybe they use like fish fertilizer or something. And then one of my favorite things about the Brussels sprouts are the leaves, because they're super sweet and nutty. And they're okay, but they're nothing compared to what we get in the garden. The leaves are better than the Brussels sprouts, but they're not as good as our leaves. But yeah, yeah. I no longer feel bad about starting a seed in March and having it grow in my garden till now. And thinking, oh, it was only $4 for that whole stalk. And it's like, okay, we've been eating the leaves, we've been eating the sprouts, even though they're small. Like, we've been eating the sprouts in September, and we've been eating the leaves since May or June. So it's December now. We've been eating this for 6 months. So 6 months of food and like $2 for a pack of seeds. And we definitely made the mistake of planting the entire pack of seeds and trying to grow them all. And so we were harvesting them and cutting down the younger ones because we planted them too close together and just eating them. We still have 10 plants in the yard, and we can eat off of them at least once a week. So yeah, that confirms me planting all the ridiculous Brussels sprouts that I have planted is a good decision for myself and my family. And they're really, like, if you grow them for the leaves, they're not that hard to grow. Getting the sprouts can be difficult, but worthwhile. Definitely worthwhile. Yeah. And I grew a bunch in pots. So, like, the ones in pots, I harvested all of those. So I only have the ones that are in ground now that I'm trying to perennialize. But the ones in pots, also delicious. And they were delicious in the summer before we got a frost. They were sweeter than the store-bought ones in December, which I would assume got a frost before they cut them. So I don't even want to think about what that tasted like before we got a frost last week. Not everything from the grocery store is bad. This is like a pre-made potato gratin that's super tasty, and a rotisserie chicken, and then the store sprouts. So this is a mostly grocery store dinner for me because I'm on my own tonight and I don't have kids. But these are left over from Monday's dinner and they needed to get out of the fridge. So the necessity to eat leftovers and the laziness of me cooking for myself has resulted in this chaos. They're big. But they're not nearly as good as this little one. I might have made too many Brussels sprouts.